guys, Ken Smith Fishing, and yes, I get that said to me all the time, and it still cracks me up every time because I hear it in my own head. All right, so I'm going to get right to the fishing, but I got a huge announcement, but I'm going to put it at the end because a lot of you are going to be interested in it, but not all of you. So here we go. So I'm going to tease you with the announcement. So we've had a ton of guys who have come up to us. So Spark has been at almost every one of the Bass Champs drawings on Friday nights or Saturday nights on the Sunday tournaments. And we've had a ton of guys come up that wanted to sign up that are either in a co-op, so they can't choose who their provider is, which is Austin and San Antonio, and I'll come to find out a whole bunch of East Texas. And then we've had a bunch of Louisiana guys who said, hey man, I would like to have a chance to win this money. And you know, Spark got in this to grow their customer base and to give back to our community. And what they've come to realize, and I wish you guys could see how good these people are, because I've gotten to know them real well. What they've realized is some folks just can't sign up to be Spark customers. So they wanted to figure out a way to be fair to everybody else, but to give those boys and girls a chance to win this Spark money. So we've come up with an affiliate program, kind of like Bass Cat Quest or Ranger Cup or Triton Gold or any of those other ones where you pay a small fee and you qualify for those. And by the way, so just in Bass Champs, the next North Division is $2,000, and then there's two more, so $4,000. So $6,000 somebody will win in the North Division. In the South Division, the next one's 4 plus 2 in the last one, so another $6,000 somebody will win. In the East Division, you guys know they've already paid out $8 grand, and they're going to pay out another $8 grand at the last event at Toledo Bend. And then in the Central Division, there's $6 grand up for grabs. Gosh, is that right? There it is right there. Yep, it is, because I'm pulling in the same place I'm showing you right there on the Bass Champs email. And then $2,000 at the last one. So $8,000 there, plus $5,000 at the championship. So $33,000 still up for grabs at Bass Champs tournament. And don't forget, there's a big bass tournament all year long in 9 lakes. That's another $18,000. And then don't forget also, there's another $250, $500, or $1,000 if you submit an 8, a 10, or a 13 plus pound fish to ShareLunker. And by the way, check it out, I just got approved. So my 1054, I think it is, that I called on Rayburn is going to win me another $500 in Spark money. I haven't submitted it yet, but I'll submit it this week. So I'm going to put right at this point at the back end of this video all the details on how to do that, how to sign up, and the cost and everything, but I wanted you guys to know about that. So any of you who don't want to watch all the fishing can jump ahead and check that out. And the Spark drawing, which will be for everybody this month, for the month, will be at the end as well. So, all right, so my buddy Grady and I fished. Grady's 16-year-old high school fisherman out of Houston. We did not practice Friday. Most of you guys know Sarah's pregnant, and I'm really being careful about the days I'm away from home. I don't want to be away from home for too long, and I can't get too far from home because she's very, very, very pregnant. So we just kind of showed up, and sort of here's what we knew going in. We knew it was a full moon. We were right on a moon. We knew there had been a little cool front and a big north wind, and we didn't know anything else. And so we put in, and by the way, you know, I had fished a couple of big bass tournaments at Rayburn, and I guess there's just more ramps at Fork. I had never really thought this through. We got to the ramp an hour before we could take off and put right in. It was great. Last time I fished one on Rayburn, we actually didn't get in the water for over an hour after we got to the ramp, and then parking was a mess, and this was just a pleasure. This one was great. So we put in the back of Little Mustang, and come to find out at 6:30 when you can start fishing, it's still dark. So we just started right there at the Mustang ramp, right there on the riprap, or the stair-step riprap there, and around the bridge pylons, and I caught one little slot fish. Actually, I don't remember now. It might have been an under, but and as soon as it got daylight, we took off. I really wanted to go flip gator grass. What I didn't know until I talked to somebody else who was fishing the tournament is Fork had been down pretty severely, I guess around 3 feet last summer. Now, that's somebody told me that, so I believe them. So that gator grass that normally grows way out off the bank didn't, because where it normally grows was dry. So there was very, very little of that. So we just kind of went fishing. And we ran basically straight across the lake, big north wind blowing down the lake. We ran straight across the lake into Wolf Creek, and here's kind of how our day started.
Really? Good one?
Well, a little one. Too little. That one we could weigh, but we're not going to. Look at there, a keeper on Lake Fork. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, here he comes. He got it that time. He must be dinky. I saw him charge it that time. I flipped in there and he bulged at it. That's all he's trying to do. She don't want to eat it. She wants it off her nest. She may be grabbing it by the tail. Yep, she got it again. Don't. Let her try. That's under 16. She don't weigh much, but she's under 16.
Think it'll make 2?
I don't think so. How many times did that fish bite me?
3 and 2.
Okay, so in that you heard me say, so basically I saw fish bulging. I saw fish bulge in the water, if you will. And normally when you see that, if they're not going crazy, you know, carp go crazy up there and throw water everywhere. If you just see fish bulge in different places, a lot of times those are bass chasing bluegill or chasing other things away from their nest. And I saw that pretty early on and made that pitch over there with my Cinco, and took me 2 or 3 pitches to catch that fish. But when I caught that fish, I don't think I said it on camera. I told Grady, I said they're up and we're going to go sight fishing. So that's what we did. And in hindsight, I would have liked to have had a little bit of time on the lake because we weren't in the clearest water. I found out later there was some water that was much clearer than what we were in Wolf. And that's not a mistake, but we did make 2 mistakes. First mistake we made was we didn't have a radio with us, and that's my fault. They were announcing the weights every hour, and I should have had a radio to know what was being weighed. We had people around us who were telling us, but I should have been on top of that better. That's my fault. And the second thing I didn't do, which I used to do anytime I fished a big bass tournament, I don't even know if Bass Champs would have let me do this or not. I knew my scales were a little bit light from last Bass Champs tournament at Rayburn. My scale said we had about 25 pounds, and my scale showed my fish to be 915, and it was a 1050, and we had 27. So I knew they were around 10% off. What I used to always do is weigh something on my scales, and then before the tournament, weigh it on the tournament scales. And a lot of times the big bass tournaments will let you do that, so you know how much your scales are off. Because that cost us some money, maybe. And I'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But so we went nest fishing, and again, the water's pretty off color. And the first or second fish I set up on here, I really thought was just a really big under, and kind of here's what happened. Ah, she had it. Dadgummit.
That one too big? Was that one too big? Yeah, I think this one is too. I didn't think this fish was this big. Yep. 18, 19 inches. And the other time they're smaller than they look. God, that makes me wonder how big that one is back yonder. A dandy right there. Yeah. I had no idea that fish was that big. I bet that fish is 20 inches, you know it? Oh, I didn't know that fish was that big. There's one bigger down there with her.
With this fish right
Mm-hmm. She's 19. Oh. That's a 9. Oh yeah, easy 4-pounder. That's a 9-keeper here on Rayburn. Off the nest.
Quite obviously, that fish was significantly larger than what I expected it to be. So we just kept poking around and found a number of fish on the nest. And so what the strategy we employed, if you don't know how Bass Champs works, there's basically 12 seats up there. And when you walk up there, they weigh from 8 to 8:30, 9 to 9:30. You walk up there with the fish, and if you're the first guy in line, you go to seat number 1. And until somebody weighs a bigger fish than you, you stay in seat 1. And they fill up those 12 seats. 10 seats are paid seats and 2 seats are bonus seats if you bought one of their t-shirts, which I did. And you just get pushed down the line. And so Grady and I both caught a fish, and we put both of them in the live well. And the thought there was, no matter what size it was, if we caught a big under or obviously an over, and we went up there, it made sense for both of us to weigh a fish that hour just to see if we might both win something. So we poked around quite a bit, and so Grady caught a bunch of fish. And I had 2 cameras on me. I had the front camera, the back camera, and Grady was poking buttons on the camera, and I don't have a single video of Brady poking a fish, catching a fish. But what I do have is, I don't know if you know this or not, but on a GoPro you can set it to do batch pictures where it takes 50 pictures. I have 450 pictures of Grady. These are a couple of my favorites, by the way. So I didn't get much footage off that back camera. I'm sorry, Grady. He did catch several nice fish. But I don't have any of them, so you'll just have to trust me when I tell you that. But those are my favorites. I got real cracked up in that one. There's several of them where he's looking at the camera trying to figure out what's going on. But so we fished around in there, caught several fish, and here's a couple more of those fish we caught off the net.
It's weird. I've seen days when they'll react to one thing and not the other. You know, fish to fish. One of them will bite a black blue jig, and one of them will bite a pink or a yellow or a white, or you never know. No, he's short enough, he just ain't gonna weigh much. Well, I don't know. I think you're right. I think it's gonna be a little bit too long.
Okay guys, so I didn't realize I had this much footage. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna split the Bass Champs Mega Bass Tournament into 2 videos this week. And I'm gonna go ahead now and cut to some video I shot a little earlier tonight talking about the rest of the Spark program. And then later this week, I'll get the rest of this fishing footage up for you guys and kind of talk to you about how the weigh-in went and what happened there as well. And then also tell you I got a great video coming up from the Mega Bass that we haven't filmed yet, but you're really going to enjoy as well. So let's cut to that last little bit. I'll sign off after that, and I'll get part 2 up later this week. Let's talk a little bit more now about the Spark deal. So here's what they've done for us. They have said that They're going to create this affiliate program. You can go to Spark Fishing and join it. Anybody can join it. And by joining it, you're eligible to win any of the Bass Champs money. You're eligible to win any of the ShareLunker money. You're eligible to win any or all of the 9 big bass lake tournaments we've got. So we've got biggest fish weighed by a Spark customer or somebody in the affiliate program in these 9 lakes who also submits it to ShareLunker. So it's got to be at least an 8-pounder and gets it approved, is going to win whatever money you win for that, the $250, $500, or $1,000 based on the size of the fish. And at the end of the year, the biggest fish in each of those lakes wins another $2,000. And you will qualify for the weekly 250 drawings here on Ken Smith Fishing. And we talked about how to price this. It's going to be $75 to join it. And we set it at that price. We needed to be a little bit fair to Spark to help them recover because, you know, again, they're not doing this to make a ton of money, but they don't want to make it $5 and just lessen what the guys who've actually signed up for Spark have done. But you think about it, only one guy's got to sign up for a team to win, so it's $37.50 a partner. Now, I would suggest both of you sign up so you can qualify for the big bass money. Because think about it, most of us that fish very much are going to catch an 8-pounder this year. It's just going to happen. If you do it, it's an easy $250 to get all your money back from entering it to ShareLunker, getting it approved, and submit it to Spark for Spark money. So I think it's a great deal. Again, you can do it. Even if you live in Indiana and you're going to come down to Fish Fork for a work weekend, you can enter it and you'd be eligible to win the $2,000 for big fish at Spark and the $250, $500, or $1,000 if you submit a fish to ShareLunker and get it approved. So I want to say thank you to the Spark folks. They've been awesome with this. You know, we set out to make it prize money that everybody could win, or as many people as possible could win, and they've been really, really open to letting us do that. So we now have, you can be a Spark customer or you can do the affiliate program. Either one, doesn't matter. You can win the Spark money. So there you go. Again, it's at sparkfishing.com. That's what the screen looks like when you pull it up, so you can see where to enter. And it's simple. It won't take you a couple minutes. So if you have any questions about that, you guys know how to reach me, kensmithfishing@outlook.com. Okay, there you go. So I've spliced that together a little bit. Forgive me, but part 2 will be up later this week. I think you'll enjoy it too. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see y'all here just in a day or two.